All right, system volume has been reset in my brain. I have no longer system volumed the word of the F word in the first 40 seconds of the stream. But I assure you, many of them words will be said. Hello, everyone, and welcome to sort of a unique stream, I guess. But at the end of the day, it'll just be 3 separate VODs of different racing games that I'm going to marathon back to back to back. Not necessarily to compare and contrast, but I'm sure that will absolutely happen. Let's just be real here. We're going to play through the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Classics, the GameCube Nintendo Classics, the Super Nintendo Classics, the N64 Nintendo Classics, the Game Boy... Oh, wait, no? No, that's not what we're doing. Huh. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Mario Kart World. Here's what we're going to do, Walter. We're going to play Mario Kart World for a couple hours. Then, we're going to transition into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Play that for a couple hours. And then end the stream with Kirby Air Riders. If I'm feeling a little... a little spicy, we might even check out, not Fast RMX, but wherever the fuck it is, Fast Fusion, which is this game. And it's fine, but like mostly this is just going to be between the main 3 kart racers. And if I play Fast Fusion, that just depends on if I'm in the right mood for it, I guess. Yeah, actually, no, we're just gonna play Wario World off stream. I lied. This is Wario World right here. Listen to him, he's about to say it. Actually, I don't think they say it in this game. Yeah, he says Mario Kart World when you first boot it, but then never again. So I haven't streamed this since pretty much the game came out, and it's been a bit of a hot topic throughout the year, but let me just state first and foremost, I think Mario Kart World is a fine game. And it's definitely not my favorite of the racers that came out this year. That's between Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and Kirby. But I do think that this is a good game. And it's received a number of updates since the last time I played it. So I figured we could dick around a little bit and do some racing. So the main thing that I really wanted to check out was the incredible feature that is the volume slider. Where is that? Would that be... Where are the settings for this game, actually? You have to be in-game. I think you... settings... Yeah. Yeah, here you go. Here's your volume slider. Hang on. What's the dB difference anyway? On the pause screen, this is floating around like -30 when I'm not talking. Like -28. Okay, yeah. Which this boosts it by like 5 dB. It's not even that much louder, if I'm going to be honest. Then again, this is the pause screen though. So hang on. Okay, so that now it's like between... This is like -17 now when I'm not talking, as opposed to... like -22. I know people who don't like know shit about volume and like decibels, like that means like nothing. The way I look at it is volume kind of comes in threes. Every 3 dB is like what I would consider like double the loudness of the last value. Obviously 0 dB, well maybe not obviously, but 0 dB is like when it's like too loud, it's clipping and it sounds painful. So you don't want it to get up to 0. For the record, my voice floats around -7 dB on OBS. I have it hard clipping, or not clipping, but like limiting at -6. But I try to keep it a little below that. another thing that I wanted to check out and see is... So, obviously, I have already unlocked all the characters and their costumes, so my character roster is a fucking nightmare, and I hope they address that in the future as well. But this, I think, was a pretty big feature for me, which was adding the different P-switches. It even shows your times. I believe... Yeah, so if there's a P-switch that you found but didn't clear, it also shows. And you can just warp straight to it, which I think is a good feature. This wasn't in the base game. So, my biggest complaints with Mario Kart World... I'll just rip the Band-Aid off. Now that it's been 8 months, you know, I had my my flowers with the game, and I really did enjoy it. I think, for me personally, I thought Mario Kart World was a very fun... Oh god. A very fun first impression. But then, the problem with it for me becomes, after not too long, the content is not really that substantial anymore. Also, I appreciate this. This is nice, because there's a lot of music in this game. We're gonna retry that. I'm also gonna change my vehicle up, because, yeah, Cataquack in the little dumpy, probably not the best build. But yeah, this fucking nightmare roster is the next thing I hope they address. You can sort it, but, like, it's still... Here's the thing. I think it's kind of cute that they all have individual poses. I think that's what, like creatively, that was the idea, was give them the different poses. And it does add a lot of personality, but it just clutters. Maybe, like, a toggle for it would be nice, or, alternatively, you have Mario doing the base pose, and then it kind of opens like a folder, and then the different Marios pop out. That could be a good idea, I think. But yeah, there's also rumors that, like, I guess Bonanza characters are getting added in the future, because K. Rool and, what's his nuts? Their voice actors are in this game's credits, and as far as we can tell, they're not voicing any of the, like, Bowser minions. Because, aside from Pianta, everyone else has their same voice lines from their initial games. And it's just, like, reused samples. Nabbit is, what's her name? The new Nabbit voice since Wonder. And then everyone else, yeah, is just, you know, Kevin Afghani or whoever the new actors are. Peach was weirdly replaced in this too, which I remember that was a bit of a controversy. Because, like, her actor didn't know until the game came out. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just... Nintendo's just cycling in a new era of actors for the game. But I don't know. I do like Cataquack, though. I will say... I kind of... Aside from the costumes taking up a large portion of this game's roster, I do really like this game's character select. I think adding the Bowser minions was a really fun idea. But yeah, I mean, there's still some characters that are missing. My friend Caleb was, like, elated when Diddy Kong finally got added to Mario Kart 8 in the Booster Course Pass. Only for that victory to immediately be, like, taken from him with Mario Kart World. I'm missing that one. Okay. I don't think I'm making it to that. That is a tough one to hit. Okay. Okay, I see now why I didn't finish this before. What are they doing with Diddy? Why did they split his eyes? Well, see, Sonic has a copyright on uni-eye, double eye. I'm joking. He doesn't. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like such a subtle thing, though. where they added that like little strip of flesh between his eyes? Or did he normally... Yeah, he had kind of the Sonic thing going. Okay, this bike turns too sharp. I can't... I don't think I can hit all three of these with this bike. Let me try. One more time. I feel how those Sonic fans feel about the quills. Yeah. I don't really have that strong of an opinion. Like, Diddy Kong's cool, I guess. I actually really do like the new DK design, though. I think it's very solid. Especially in the context of Bonanza. I think DK... Especially in Bonanza, it works extremely well. There we go, that's how you do it. Where is this taking me right now? Jesus. Question mark panel back there I never got. There we go. Look at that. Actually, see, Mario Kart World is the best game in the series because it has Airship Fortress, you see. That's the only criteria it takes for me to determine if a Mario Kart game is good or not. Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart DS, and Mario Kart World. Those are the only Mario Karts that matter. There's no Kappa on my face. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I would agree if it didn't look so different. Yeah, they kind of like modernized the airship design, didn't they? It reminds me of like Mario 3D Land. Another thing that I would hope that they add in the future, but I really don't see happening, is contextual music for where you are in free roam. Like, okay, right now, it's playing the Yoshi's Island boss theme. Which, okay, I guess you could argue that's kind of contextual for Airship Fortress. But, like, the song sounds like fucking, like, Yeehaw Cowboy shit, and doesn't fit the area at all, when there's a lot of, like, heavy rock Bowser remixes in this game. Anyways, I'm not here to play free roam really all that much. I missed the question mark panel. I'm not that bad about it. I'm just gonna do a few races. We're gonna check out online. I might also just do some single player, like, Grand Prix stuff. Let's start with online, though, I guess. They added waiting with friends. Okay, so what does that mean exactly, waiting with friends? I've heard that they added this, but like... Look at those. Your dad, Megan, Pizza, and Ellie. They're all Mario. Super fucking Mario! For me, the biggest thing that was added in this most recent update, out of anything else that I've mentioned, is also adding the item toggle for custom items. Now you can have Kamek only, which not only makes unlocking really easy, because I went on to Megan's Switch profile and I did the rest of the unlocks for her, because I sat there when this game came out, and I am a little ashamed to admit, I sat there and did the original unlock method of grinding out levels and waiting for that extremely rare odds of Kamek to spawn. And it is extremely, extremely rare. I guess they're in the middle of a race for the one I'm joining. That's fine. But, it is actually extremely, extremely quick now to unlock the rest of the characters, which is good. And might I also add, when doing that for Megan, I've discovered that playing Kameks only is actually kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. because like it makes the battlefield or like the course into like a fucking battlefield, and it's like insanely difficult to like hold your position because there's just so much shit going on. It feels like what Mario Kart should be when it's like, okay, I want to introduce a hard mode. I don't know. Maybe I don't fully believe that, but at least a little bit. It's kind of like chaos, and I like it. No, I'm down here now. It's fine. Did I fucking join, like... What did I join? Like, this race is going on forever. I'm glad they did that after having a choice to do super box items only for Crossworlds. Yeah. Honestly, this Crossworlds and Kirby Air Riders all got updates within the last, like, week or so. So that's another reason why this stream is happening today, is because there's a lot to check out. And again, in general, I haven't played this in fucking forever. I feel like I've been, like, talking out of my ass on my experience with this game without having, like, recently played it. I do want to say, though, in general, out of all the 3 games that came out, racing games, here's how I'm gonna make recommendations for anyone who may be watching if you don't own any of the 3. Mario Kart World is your pick if you are really into casual gameplay. If you like having friends and family over and you want to have a Switch 2 and then like everyone gathers around the TV, if that's how you and your family hang out, then Mario Kart World is a great game for that. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is, and I hate to say this, but it's kind of more of the gamer's game. And by that I mean, it's a much more intense arcadey type feel. And if you're looking for something with a bit more depth to it, with what I feel is better item balancing in general, it's 3 laps on Peach Beach. I'll do that. The big thing that people have to complain about with this game, in particular, is they don't really love the traveling from one course to another, the, what are we calling them again? Intermissions? I don't mind them so much, and another thing that they have introduced with this most recent update is some of the intermissions actually got adjusted. Like, the course layout was changed. So, I am aware that those courses are all, like, exclusively over the water because they're the easiest to change. However, if this is Nintendo, like, testing the water, seeing how people react to it, I would say, in general, people have had a pretty positive reaction to it, and I would hope, I know it would be a lot more effort, but maybe they'd be willing to adjust some of the geometry of the land, or at least just add more things happening in the course itself. Oh yeah, I forgot, you don't go under the water in this game. Sonic Racing also does that. That's how long it's been since I played this. I actually forgot that you race on top of the water. I mean, I was literally just talking about it too. You gotta play Transformed eventually. It's on my list. Is that available on Steam by chance? I think it is, right? I forgot what item I had here. It's $20. Okay. Well, if I get any Steam money for Christmas, perhaps that is what I'll spend it on. I know if I get Switch money for Christmas, I'm getting Prime 4. I'm still very much looking forward to that. Reviews be damned. I want to at least try it for myself before I make up my mind on it. The Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed Collection is $20? What do you mean collection? Excuse me. What is there to collect? Migraines? Victories? Oh, I wanted to crush that Bowser Jr. so bad. I'm Bowser Jr. And I'm here to take back my dad. Who gave this fucking fish a driver's license anyways? 13th place. In any other game, I would be dying. What's this song? Piranha Creeper Creek. So that's just nice. You can just pause and then look at the name of the song. That fucking goober. Oh, there's a peach medallion on top of that. How the fuck do you get that? I'm taking a picture. Is that the new... I'm using tilt controls? How do you get up there? Well, guess don't worry about it, bitch. Alright, that's 2 for 2 so far on the 3 laps showing up. I know that's just good luck, but still. Again, I'll say I don't mind so much the 3 lap and like 1 lap stuff. I just wish that here's the real thing. I think that there should be 2 different online modes. There should be an online mode for playing it as is, and then there should be like custom rule set online modes. Remember how Mario Kart 8 had the quote-unquote tournaments feature? What if we had something sort of similar to that, or like paddocks from Air Riders? And then you can create your custom rule set. So you can use custom items, you can use your, you know, you can set your rules to be like 3 laps only, you know, the full course variants. Watch as everyone installs the first set of items. What is item bagging? Is that what you're talking about? I'll say I haven't experienced too much of that. I also don't really pay that close attention to it. I know people will very heavily meta play this game, but I think another thing is like, I don't know. There's a lot of people who play this game. That's another thing to consider. So, like, if you're watching, like, streams of, like, bigger streamers exclusively, you might find people who are, like, more commonly playing the game more meta when you're watching, like, a stream. Obviously, this is a stream, but, like, I'm not playing against a full lobby of viewers. There is an interesting phenomenon on the internet where when you watch a stream, you're gonna find more players that are like better at the game than what you would typically find. Not to say like it doesn't happen in regular play, because it does. Also, I wish the wall riding mechanic added to a little bit more. I know there's some real crazy shit you can do with it, particularly at this part of the course. Whoa! Okay. Bye! Do trick boosts stack? I do not believe so. I kind of just spam them because it's fun. I guess it gives me a little stim while I'm in the air. But I think you just get one tier of boost, unlike in Sonic Racing where that does happen. The more tricks you get off, the better you boost. I could be wrong on that front. I mean, I've not really dove into the game's like finer mechanics. Oh, there's a peach medallion. What the fuck? Why he not be on the wall? Oh, that bitch. Alright. This time we did not get it. Apparently, any route that goes to Koopa Troopa Beach is significantly changed, so I'm gonna vote for that one. In the original 1.0 release, any course that took you to Koopa Troopa Beach, when you get to it, you would do just one lap, like you do on any other course, really. It's fine that we're not going there. But now, I guess, any course that takes you to Koopa Troopa Beach, not only is the, like, lap to get there, like, different, but I believe you do 2 laps on Koopa Troopa Beach now, instead of just the one, which is better. I don't know if that necessarily fixes the problem. I think the problem for me is that Koopa Troopa Beach is just such a boring course. It's just a circle, but I'll take it. It gives me a little bit more to go for. I would have much rather seen, like, Koopa Troopa Beach from, like, I don't know, N64, or maybe even Shy Guy Beach, or whatever it was called from GBA. There is a severe lack of any GBA tracks in this game, and by any, I mean literally 0. There are none. Which is a bit baffling. Instead, weirdly, there's a lot of Double Dash in this, which I'm not complaining about. I like Dino Jungle. Though this is like the 3rd or 4th time we've had this. It is a good course, but like, there are other tracks. I guess that's another small, like, we're talking nitpick complaint for me with this game. Is, as much as I do love how some of the courses have been redesigned, I feel like the course selection for the retro tracks in this game heavily relies on stuff that we've already seen. Again, I mentioned Airship Fortress kind of jokingly before, but truthfully, we have seen Airship Fortress a number of times. Jesus, I still can't talk. Ow. Dino. Get fucking sword. Dino sword. It's the most NASCAR course they've kept around. Which course? This one? Or are you talking about Koopa Troopa Beach? Because it's just like a circle. I would argue Baby Park on that front, but true. What song is this? Dolphin Shoals Electro version. It's also nice to have, like, names for a lot of these songs. Number 1 Peepa fan. Peepa has fans? Yo, fuck the police. I just caused property damage to that. Alright, let's see. Another bonefish! You and me, we're not so different, are we? We all float down here. Bye, bitch. I'm going into the ocean where I fucking belong. It's like one of those rafts in Wind Waker that has like 1 bokoblin and 20 rupees on it. Or in the case of my Wind Waker randomizer, I go insane, and that's where the grappling hook was. People still don't want to go to Koopa Troopa Beach. Honestly, fair. But, like, I just want to see, like, how different is the intermission track. No fucking way is #1 Peepa fan actually playing as Peepa. That's bullshit. But there's 2 of them?
2 of them! 2 of them!
A joke so good, I did it twice. Also, it's this remix. Ugh. This Baby Park cover is on the tier of, like, the Apollos remix, or however you say it, from Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Yoinky sploinky baby dubstep. It's so, like, unfitting. Taking no ass to Pride Rock, motherfucker. God damn, that fish just ate that meat! Ow! Fucking man bun Wario over here, look at his ass. It is, also, on that note, I do kind of wish that Man Bun Wario looked just slightly more WarioWare. Like, they could have given him the helmet. They got the jacket almost down. It's not quite there. I guess that's another thing, too. Maybe more legacy costumes would have been nice for this game. Like, DK and Pauline are both severely lacking in any alternate costumes. In that they both have one. I've seen some people say that potentially with Bonanza DLC on the horizon for this, that's where they could introduce more DK and Pauline stuff, but even then... I am doing fucking shit right now. Oh, there's a Kamek. Yeah, I got like 17th. That was not good. 16th. More of those costumes from Tour. Yeah, Tour had a lot of really great costumes. I mean, that's where I think a lot of these are coming from Tour. Particularly with like Mario and Luigi. I think like Luigi's farmer costume, I believe, comes from Tour. Let's change it up a little bit. On that note. Yeah, like this one comes from Tour. I remember that. People lost their shit over that. Some of them are new. Is this one new? I think the Vampire comes from Tour as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a mixture of new and old in here. Some of these are also Mario Odyssey costumes. I mean, arguably this is Mario Sunshine, but... I'm gonna change it up here. Also, I could give less than 0 of a fuck about meta, so... I pick cars based on what's fun to play, not based on what's... Not based on what's actually good. I don't actually know what's good. I have this shirt, this Mario Sunshine shirt. I forget. Megan bought it for me, but I forget where she got it from. But it's actually really nice quality. It's not just like a cheap print on a t-shirt. Like it's a genuine like Hawaiian shirt. I think I've streamed with it before in the past. When I was on camera, rarely. By the way, how is the new background for the stream overlay? I created a new one. This is why we got a bit of a later start today. I'm gonna be here for a long time. I don't have work tonight, so we're good on that front. No, why have I done this? I didn't have more than one mushroom. Are the colors like too distracting or anything? I tried to have it have like a very slow, gradual transition between the different colors. As long as it's not too distracting or anything. It's not? Good. Very good. You didn't even notice the colors were changing? Honestly, that's good. It has like a 6-minute loop, the background. So, initially I made it with like I think like a 3-minute loop, but it felt like it was going too fast for me, so I doubled it. How'd that person get so far ahead? What the fuck? Crown City. Now, this course up here, in the 3-lap variant of it, is probably one of my more favorite tracks from this game. I don't really love any of the new tracks. Like, I did at first, and now that I've had more time with them, I'm like, most of them are just kind of alright. But this one, I think, is up there for me. At least in the department of... If I had to rank them, this would be towards the top of this game's personal ranking. I like the music here a lot, too. I would totally do another one of those tier maker, like, soundtrack rating streams for this game, but I want you to understand, if you didn't know this already, to anyone listening, this game has over 10 hours of music, and it's basically impossible to find a clean rip of the entire soundtrack. Like, some people claim they have the whole soundtrack, but then I'm like, well, hang on, this is missing, like, the fucking Yoshi's Island final boss song, which is in the game. I've heard it before in the game, but, like, uploads on YouTube don't have it. The Rainbow Road in this game, I remember, is very good. It's not difficult, but it's a very nice, pretty Rainbow Road. When you play it on an actual 4K TV, which I'm not a graphics slut or anything, but I will admit to you, when you play that Rainbow Road on a 4K TV, it is a very nice experience. But I will also say that Rainbow Road is more spectacle than anything. Once you get over the visual, like, eyegasm, then it's like, it's just alright. It's kind of long. It's not really challenging at all. Like, I've maybe fallen off of it twice total in the entirety of this game. And maybe I'm just really good at games now. But... let's go to... I kind of want to stay in this area to see if I can't get a Koopa Beach. But... that could also instantly be changed by any 3-lap course showing up, and then we're all just over there. So that's another sort of interesting thing about the online for this, is because of the integration of driving from one course to the next. Typically with online, the way it's going to work is the next course that you get online is going to be something that's nearby to where you are, unless it does pull the 3-lap variant, which is rare, but... Spaceport can go to Toad Factory? I don't believe so. Toad Factory is up northwest by, like, Bowser Castle. Spaceport is on the very southern western border of the map. Toad Factory is a good version in this, I would say. I wouldn't say it's like better or worse than any other version of Toad Factory, being there's only one other version. It is a nice version, and it's nice to see Toad Factory back, I do suppose. Bitch. Nine. Also, what I like about Boo in this game is if Boo can't get anything, I think there's a chance for it to just grab a mushroom out of the ether, so that way you're still getting something for using it. I think that's a nice little, like, additional feature for Boo. There'd be a lot of instances, particularly in 8, where you'd use a Boo and he'd come back with nothing. You both do and don't see people with hoarding items in this. With the second inventory slot, you'll see it a little bit more, but typically people tend to use their items, from what I notice online. Aside from using stuff to, like, block shells. I think there's a lot more, like, speed-up type items. Plus, with the food on the side of the course, you see a lot of people use it so they can use that boost. Oh. Didn't realize I could jump on that. I thought I was gonna crash out. This is a really good course. I like this one. It's just also, like, one-lap variants in Mario Kart World feel less special because of how much of the game is one-lap courses through the connecting courses. Fuck. This is the other thing with Mario Kart World that I don't know how I feel about, is the 24 racers. On paper, it was like, whoa, 24 dudes in one lap! That's crazy! And then you think about all the items that come your way, and then you're like, wait a minute. This is kind of awful, isn't it? A little bit, anyways. What'd I get, like 6th? Okay. Bowser Castle to Toad Factory might be changed. There is a lot of water around Toad Factory. It's like in the middle of a river. So, that wouldn't surprise me if something got changed there. Wow, Yoshi's Island Latin version? Whoa. What's Latin about this? Oh, yeah, the air vines. Yeah, I do remember those. Yeah, they added some of those to some of the intermissions. I do remember hearing about that. Alright, I'm voting for Koopa Troopa Beach. I feel like if we get something else here, though... I don't think Peach connects to Koopa Troopa Beach. Could be wrong. Nope. I'm the only one that voted for it. Alright. That's fine. I guess from here to Koopa Troopa Beach would have been a pretty short course anyways. This one's gonna, I guess, go over water, isn't it? This one might be changed up. Doesn't look like it. Looking at that map. It looks relatively unchanged, as a matter of fact. Why is it that I'm just now noticing that the rocket here has, like, a D-pad on it? Hey, you stay away from me. Don't be a bitch. Fuck that sign! So what I mean, though, about people, like, actually tend to use their items in this? I noticed that in general. Oh yeah, they have these too, which I suppose is a little different. Was this in the original of this intermission? I'm not sure. Could have been. Could have also not been. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this game... Here's my biggest takeaway with Mario Kart World. Is I can see there's a lot of effort, there's a lot of love that is put into this game. It falls flat on its face in a couple of fields. And I think this game has a lot of potential. Oh, I missed out on the cool boat! God damn it, I forgot about the boats even being here. It's style over substance. I think that's kind of hitting the nail right on the head. I do think, though, that this game has potential to be better. The fucking whale? What the hell? I think I will be very curious to see if, over time, this game becomes better. Like, already we're seeing some nice quality of life features, but the question I guess I have is how long is Nintendo gonna keep up with this? And of course there is also the age-old debate of this is an $80 video game, and still to this day I do not feel it is worth that price tag. I'd say it's absolutely worth the $50 I paid for it in the... well, I didn't pay for it, but... it's definitely worth the $50 price tag when it's bundled with the console. Sure, yeah, it's a $50 game. I accept that. But it's definitely, like, if you buy a Switch 1 and you get a bundle that either doesn't have it and has something else or what have you, or somehow you lose your copy, I would not recommend buying the game physically for $80. I don't know. I have a couple of Switch 2 games physically, and if I have my choice of it, I'd like to get Prime 4 physically, but... after the COVID update for Super Mario Party, genuinely anything could happen. That is true, yeah. And already, you know, I will admit, changing the layout of the intermissions is much more than I ever expected. Will they go any further than they currently have with it is my current question, I guess. I'm gonna err on the side of pessimism and say probably not, and then be graciously surprised if they do. Get out of my way. So yeah, I think this game, the way I'm gonna look at it is, if this game gets free updates over time, kind of like something like Splatoon. Oh, it does connect to Koopa Troopa Beach, okay. I kind of want to go Choco Mountain. I'm giving up on Koopa. One other person voted for it. Watch, now it's the time when they pull it. Nope, my vote. Patches for Crossworlds are more like Splatoon. The patches for Crossworlds are definitely more frequent. Whenever this game gets an update, it's kind of like random and out of the blue. What I will say is, yeah, so if this game gets like one update every 3 months for like the next several years, then I can start seeing myself recommending this to more people. But I'm still just gonna say, not that it needs to be a competition necessarily. I would still recommend for most of my friends to pick up Crossworlds over this. Especially if they don't already have a Switch 2. If they do have a Switch 2, there's a 90% chance they already have the game. Truthfully, because this game has like... what, like 96% attach rate or some crazy shit? Like, almost no one who owns the console doesn't at least own this game. Which is crazy, because not even with the Switch 1 was that really the case for Mario Kart 8. I'm wondering how long that's gonna keep up. Also, Nintendo was very, very smart to just fucking completely throw that thing away where they were like, hey, the Mario Kart World Bundle is gonna be a limited time thing. Because when they first announced it, they had like a little, like, legal thing on the bottom of the screen that was like, in fall of 2025, we are going to be discontinuing this. And now, since like a week or two ago, that little legal bit of text was completely removed from their advertising on the game. And so now it's just going to be a permanent thing. Which is good, because that's how you're going to get people to actually buy this game. Switch 1 had multiple bundles. This now also has the ZA bundle, which that is a weird game to get with your Switch 2, I'm just going to say. I like ZA. It's going to appear in my top 10. But, like, that is a Switch 1 game through and through. That is just, like, slightly enhanced on Switch 2. I don't think that's a very good bang for your buck. I would say, even if you aren't interested in this game in its current state, if you could ever see yourself playing this game, the Mario Kart bundle is a better value than the ZA one. I mean, if you straight up are like, I will never play this game, then yeah, I guess maybe not. Oh yeah, Sky High Sundae in this game is actually really good. I remember not really caring for it too much in Mario Kart 8, but they actually did it some justice in this one. It has a title attached to it? What do you mean by that? It's song? I don't know if I'll get a chance to pause in the middle of this. Sky High Sundae, Sprinkle Supreme. I guess just tell me. Also, wait, this is different. What the fuck, Toad? It's just called Sky High Sundae from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Oh, it's counted as 8 Deluxe. That is interesting, even though it is a tour course, right? I feel like Nintendo is confusing their own timeline here. It is potentially possible that it was designed in order to be a Mario Kart 8 course first and foremost, and then made it into tour first. Either I haven't played this course in a very long time, so I forgot about certain things, but there seems to be a lot more routes, like alternate ways to go through the course here in Sky High Sunday than there was before. Whoa. Like, I don't remember this rail even being here. I remember visually this course was more interesting. Also, this rail in the middle makes way more sense. Oh, come on. I could have drove down there. I could have gotten to my destination eventually. Lightning didn't affect me, for whatever reason. Your shells mean nothing to me. It was a good race. But yeah, you'll notice now that we've done 3 laps on this course. Now, for the next selection of tracks, we're going to be in a completely different area of the map. Starship Mario 1 from Mario Galaxy 2. Alright, I can just be down here. I was waiting for Lakitu, and it never happened. I hope that they could find a way to slim down the courses. That would be nice. Like, if there's less... That's the other thing, too. So if they did, like, the paddock idea, going back to that discussion... yeah, shipyard, sure. If they go back to the paddock idea... I would like to see this game just have an option to just be like, okay, we're done at like 8 racers or 12 racers or whatever the arbitrary number we want to throw out is, because 24 for me is a fucking shit ton. And I am glad that unlike Kirby Air Riders, this game doesn't fill the room with bots. Like, if there's only 12 racers in the race, that's how many racers there are. If there's 7, there's 7. If there's 2, you know, that's it. Though I will say, under, like, 8, Mario Kart is pretty underwhelming. I think you need at least 8 for it to be the minimum number of chaos that I would expect from Mario Kart. And I guess that's kind of the last really major feeling that I have to discuss, is like, when it comes to Mario Kart in general, the name of the game for me is chaos. And I'm not talking about that motherfucker from Deltarune. Or that motherfucker from Xenosaga. No, I'm talking about just items being batshit crazy to a degree of almost feeling unfair. It's at its best. Waits for more aggressive. I don't know if that's like Gaslight Gatekeep Boy Boss, but I don't know. That was different to me. But, oh, great. Yeah, Sonic feels more fair in its racing, where a win feels a lot more like I earned it. Whereas a win in Mario Kart and a loss in Mario Kart just kind of feels like whatever happens, happens. This course is significantly less interesting to me without going underwater. I do like it visually, but it's at its peak when you're actually going under the water. surprised that bomb didn't fuck me up. I wanna, before I switch games, I don't know quite how long I'm gonna be streaming each of these games within this marathon. I was thinking initially like 2 hours, but I don't know. We'll see. But before I go, I do want to see at least one of the new course variants, and then I also just, for posterity's sake, I want to play on either Bowser Castle or Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7. This one feels very, like, celebratory. This version of this song. I'm still not convinced that I've heard all of the music in this game. I've listened to a lot of it. There's some really good covers in here. There's some really good, like, sleeper pick covers, too. Like, the fucking, there's like the Underground from Super Mario Bros. 2. That's a random one to pick, but I'm here for it. Yeah, jukebox would go a long way for me as well. I agree with that. Wholesale. Or, I don't know if I'd say better yet, but I'm gonna say better yet. How about we do something crazy? You ready for this one? How about we, as a society, accept that we want that motherfucker Mario Kart World soundtrack on the goddamn Nintendo soundtrack app. You know, their most impressive, at least in sheer number of songs, soundtrack they may have ever produced. Oh, so yeah, the lobby did get small. It'll probably fill out eventually. Yoshi's New Island. Is there any Yoshi's New Island music in this? Or on the app, rather? What did they just add? They added something Yoshi this week. Didn't they? They added Woolly World, I think. Which has an okay soundtrack. Woolly World's level design? 10 out of 10. One of the best games. One of the best 2D platformers. Or 2.5D, I guess. Also, that lightning hit 2 people. That means the person who used it was in 3rd place. Well, I guess there's only like 6 of us. I think another thing that would go a long way for me. Okay, so you know how I was mentioning before how the Kamek item kind of turns this game into like extreme chaos mode if you have it like Kamek only? I think in general there needs to be more obstacles in these intermission courses. So if they don't want to go through the tedium of redesigning the entire terrain, I guess I can understand that. But let's add more, like, ice bullies to the road. Let's add more piranha plants. Snowboarding shy guys. Like, look at how big and empty this area is in general right now. This is like Breath of the Wild. There needs to be more chaos happening. And I get it, it's to compensate for the 24 racers, which in and of itself will add a lot of chaos. But if they're not gonna, like, thin the courses out when there's less players, then I think they need to add more chaos to the race itself. Bye, Waluigi. This course is very pretty if you come here at night. During the day, it's like whatever. But there's also another thing about this game. Is none of the courses... In every other past Mario Kart, when you would go to a course, there would be a very specific time of day which would allow them to play to certain lighting and make the course have a very specific vibe. Some courses look better than others at different times of day. So like this one looks its best at night, I feel. Because that road, the like sparkly water that we were just on, glows in the dark. And it contrasts really well with the night sky. During the day, it still does, but it's less noticeable. Now, like Sherbert Land from 8 is at night, and I think it looks better at night than what it did on GameCube. I mean, there's also a lot more going into it than just it being night for that instance, but... That's a big part of it, I think, for me. Soda! Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can spot the song without looking it up. This is, the waterfall. Try Guy. Mario Kart 8. Well, there's fucking 6 of us. I do notice, I have noticed this before. Sometimes, it's not that there's only 6 people playing Mario Kart World right now. It just, like, arbitrarily will determine which lobby you're getting put into. And sometimes it just kind of forgets to add people to your lobby, so the lobby just keeps getting smaller and smaller over time. Wait. And then Mario fucking died. Soda! Alright, depending on the course selection after this, I may elect to go and do just like a Grand Prix or a Knockout Tour. Which, actually, yeah, I should do a Knockout Tour before I switch games. So, actually, yeah, after this, I'll do a Knockout Tour. Let's do that. I somehow doubt that any of the Knockout Tour routes have been changed. Online Knockout Tour. Well, that's the way to do it, honestly. I love how I'm just over here by myself. Everyone went completely separate routes. Speaking of Knockout Tour. I feel like the route I took was extremely inefficient. Yeah, I definitely prefer playing Knockout Tour online against randos than I do with friends. For as much as I tout that this game excels in local play, Knockout Tour is not a very local play friendly mode. In that, when you're knocked out, you're just sitting there waiting for everyone else to either get knocked out or finish. So I haven't watched any of Games Cage's streams for this. I've been watching him and Roger's Base shoot the shit lately with, like, top 10 lists. Or not top 10, but, like, top 100. That's been fun. Because they talked about, like, the IGN one, and then they made their own. You bitch. Yeah. I don't know if that was the most efficient thing I could have done there, but I have done it. See what I mean? It didn't pull anything, so it just gave me a fucking mushroom. Why is there a feather in the ground? What the fuck was that? Huh? I've never seen that happen before. What the hell? The fuck? I guess Mario has changed his outfit to be more fitting for the area he's in. I do like how the different costumes also have unique trick animations, for what it's worth. I don't feel like the costumes are like lazy necessarily. It's really just the character select screen that I have a problem with. Like I've seen some people say that it's like an arbitrary inflation of the roster for the sake of inflating the roster. I don't necessarily agree with that. It can feel that way when you're scrolling through the roster, definitely. Because it's like, okay, I'm in the Mario section, but I don't want to be anymore. Get me out of the fucking Mario section. Especially when you're doing split screen. Oh my god, it's so much worse when you're doing split screen. And I don't see enough people talking about that. Okay, so check this, right? So this is 12 characters on screen, right? I believe... Or no... Wait, yeah, 12, excuse me. So, 12 characters on screen when you're in single player, or online, I guess. In split screen, it goes down to 6. 6 characters show up on screen at once. And there's this many pages to go through when it's this big. It's bad. Change it up a little bit. Also, I did say I was gonna... Oh, fuck. Okay, one more. Because I forgot to change. I didn't even change my character, even. There's 4 of us. Wow, 100cc. Wow. I promise you, if I go online again and go into, like, versus race, I can find a different lobby that's more full than this. But yeah, something happened in, like, the netcode where, like, it pushed this lobby into, like, a weird space where, like, it's finding it difficult to throw people into it. I think people could technically join if they had, like, the friend code of anyone on this list. So, like, if anyone here had my friend code, like, they could join me directly, but otherwise there's no way for people to join this lobby. It's weird. This doesn't happen that often, but I have experienced it a few times. Even if the wall trick system doesn't add up to much, in the end, I also think that it's just kind of fun. Like, most of the time, it's rather inefficient to be wall riding. But pulling off some tricks like that, even if it's not necessarily any faster, it's just fun. I don't know. I have no logical explanation for it other than that. It has a nice, satisfying feel to it, I suppose. Oh, I am dominating this race. Then again, it is 4 racers. This is kind of what happens to Mario Kart World when there's not the 24. This means nothing to me. Alright. Knockout tour time. Knockout tour. I gotta back out. Reminder! Yeah, unearned victory. I feel that, but I don't know. It's still fun, I guess. This course is fun for the rails. Other than that, it's like whatever, I guess. Let me have my victories. I'm in a lobby with no one now. Hang on, just for the sake of seeing. If I select online, is there another lobby? Just to like prove myself right or wrong. Is it gonna find anyone? Okay, I did join a lobby. I joined a full lobby. Okay. There's your proof. I don't know what the fuck was happening to that lobby. But that it stopped. Like, adding people to it. But, yeah. People are absolutely still playing this game. If anyone wants to try to tell you otherwise, it is... Lots of people are still playing it. Let's do a knockout tour now. Yeah, Nintendo netcode is something different. For what it's worth, disconnects are very infrequent with this game. Like, I may have experienced it like once or twice, closer to around when the game came out. But in the rare chance that I played this online more recently, I would say, yeah, I haven't really ever experienced a disconnect. I'm gonna put this bitch in the goddamn B from Mario Kart 7. I do like that this game has a lot of legacy courses, legacy vehicles in it as well. Oh, good, we're ending on Desert Hills, the best course ever. Why was Rocky Wrench a boss minigame in Jamboree? Well, why not? Rocky Wrench is God incarnate. He's got a goddamn hot plate on his head. You put that bitch in lava and then you put it on his head, he could cook any pancake. He's so powerful. Also, can I just say, I can't believe it took this long to get a Pianta playable. And then it's considered like one of the Bowser minions for whatever reason. Like, he's not unlockable, he's not unlocked by default. And Pianta would be super easy to have alternate costumes for, too. Because there's like the different colors of them, and they have different outfits in Mario Sunshine. It'd be so easy. There's just bubbles in the sky? The fuck? That's gotta be new. The bubbles? I don't remember the bubbles being in the game. Also, my friend Caleb has gotten stupidly good at this game. I don't play it nearly frequently enough to, like, be as good at it as I was with, like, Mario Kart 8. So every time I play against my friend Caleb, he fucking curb stomps me. Dude's a real gamer. That's why we should listen to his Diddy Kong request opinions. Or maybe we shouldn't. Maybe that would make him too good at the game. Yeah, Pianta is playable in Mario Baseball on Wii. That is true. He's like the primary... Like 90% of Mario's team in that game is both Piantas and Noki. And there are different colors for them there. Though to be fair, the different colors of them are just simply skin tone. Like, they have the same outfits, which... I mean, I'm fine with that, of course, but it seems more like they want to have, like, specifically different outfits for them to wear with the alternate colors. Not just palette swaps. I don't think there's any palette swaps alts in this. Also the music, Dino Dino Jungle, fucking phenomenal. I really like this remix. I have a lot of nostalgia for Double Dash. I've talked about this from time to time. I'm excited for when Double Dash inevitably comes to NSO, but that's probably... So the one Mario Kart that I have the most experience with is Wii, but like Double Dash was the first one that I really have like vivid memories of playing. And I have played 64 as a Wii tot as well, but... It's fine, you can have that golden mushroom. It had one use left on it. I'm starting to feel like it's just as much coke for me to want Double Dash as it is Riders. What do you mean? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's fine, I didn't want to race on desert hills anyways. They had the same chance of being added. I guess Sonic Riders is a GameCube game, isn't it? Double Dash has more odds, I'd say, than Riders, because Riders is obviously third party. Now, what's this song from, do you think? Before I pull up it in the list. I'm thinking this might be... Metroid Prime 5. Fuck! Still criminal that Sunshine was not one of the first. And you know what's crazy too? I have the GameCube controller for Switch Online, right? The McClackety. And, when you... Like with any of the other controllers that you can buy that are directly like Nintendo's controllers, when you use them on NSO, it changes, like, the HUD and some of the sound effects for the UI. And it changes it to sound effects from Sunshine. And not only that, I believe when you create save states for the first time, it shows an example save state from Mario Sunshine. Nice upskirt shot of the Pianta. Thanks, I really wanted to see his Piantussi. Unfortunately, we're driving away from Bowser Castle. No knockout tour will ever take you to Bowser Castle. And that's a little bit of a shame. This might be my favorite Bowser Castle in the whole series, actually. I really liked 8's. It is, once again, much like the rest of this game, it is a lot of style over substance, but it really works on me. Also, what's up, Spaghetti? How you doing? I mean, I don't need it, but... I'll get fucking spiked, you idiot. Toad Factory. Toads! Alright, nothing to touch them! Uh-oh! Leave me alone. Fuck! No! Oh my god, I went from first to what, 9th? That was scary. I want to see if I can't win one knockout tour before we switch to Mario, Sonic Racing. Sorry, sometimes divulging or like diverting the brain makes me just say the wrong words. Like focusing on the game itself, trying to perform at least semi-adequately at it. I'll just say the wrong words on occasion. Oh, they took out the girders. You have to spike your controller? What do you mean spike it? With what? Are we talking like spike as in pointy, like oof oof ouch, or spike as in like lace it with like drug? Like start tripping out if you press the B button. I've got some lemonade I could spike it with. Just pour some lemonade on my controller. That's about the hardest thing I have. It's not even Mike's Hard Lemonade. It's just Tropicana. This isn't my Pianta voice actor. This isn't Charles Martinet. I don't know if this is Kevin doing this. This might just be a different dude in general. But I'm fairly certain that the original Pianta, like the was Charles Martinet. At the very least, I'm aware that the opening speech in Kart was done by Martinet. Fed Isle Delfino! That guy. Not the judge. Moo Meadows is certainly the course of all time, isn't it? Also, this is a rare instance of Nintendo food, or maybe not rare, but not an overly common instance of Nintendo food that looks just goddamn scrumptious every time I see it. Like, I see the ice cream in this, and I'm like, I fucking want some ice cream now. Oh, Swoop Nation, rise up. My other favorite thing about Oops All Kameks item game mode is, like, you can no longer tell who is and isn't in front of you based on, like, character alone. And we gotta lock in. The cross point is coming up. Oh, 8th. Still in it. This is a good game mode, I think. I wish there were more of the, what do you call them, knockout tours? Or like maybe a way to do custom knockout tours. There's exactly 8 of them, which does hit up most of the tracks in the game. But it would just be nice if, like, let's say you create a friend lobby. Maybe, again, paddock idea, right? Create a friend lobby. And creator of the lobby says, okay, we're going to these courses in this order. Like, you create a start point, and then you create an end point. I feel like that could go a long way. For doing online like this, you would need... It would be difficult, I would say, to do it in, like, a full online lobby like this. Because there's just so many people. How would you, like, vote and choose between them? Like, you'd have to ask someone to, like, make their preferred knockout tour before they join the lobby. I guess you could do it that way. Just, like, from the main menu, select knockout tour, custom edition, or whatever. Build your lobby, and then that is, like, placed in queue with you. I guess that wouldn't be that bad, and you just select the course you want. Same way custom maps are picked in Smash. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Or just like in Mario Kart 7, you have the entire roster of courses to select between, right? The only problem that raises is something that I kind of appreciate 8 and this game does over 7 and Wii by not allowing the whole roster is if you play 7 online or Mario Kart 8 online, excuse me, 7 or Wii, you're gonna see someone just keep voting for the same track over and over, and oftentimes they will get what they want. You see this in 8 as well, I guess, when you're doing friend lobbies. You don't see it on, like, the public lobbies, I guess. And I think that can happen in this game, too. Because you can just straight up pick whatever you want. Eight Bowser Castle's Peak. It is. It is. Oh! I think that just lost me the race. I had a chance. No, I don't know if I do so much. Maybe. Maybe. Off-roading. Yeah. Oh, did he just fall off? Oh, wait, no, he didn't. I got what I need. I got what I need. Good. I think I just gave myself a hernia. Perfect. I mansplained my way to the top. Oh, what do you mean by spiking his controller? As in, like, throw it? Oh, throw it on the ground so hard that it bounces back up. See, I know you don't see that I don't have a camera on, but I have the $90 Switch 2 Pro controller, which is an insane price, might I add. This bitch is not getting tossed. This bitch, when I'm angry, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go. Listen to this. You hear that? This is what's gonna happen. Just gently place it on my desk. I could spike the Kevin plush, yeah. See, now, an alternate cool idea, what I thought you initially meant when you said spike, was not the drug thing, but rather, like, put a spike on the controller, so that way every time he loses, he creates hand pain. I'll do one more, because I really wasn't expecting to win my first, or second one of those. Yeah, we'll switch. I think after this knockout tour, I'm gonna switch into Sonic. I would be interested to show you battle mode, but I'm not interested to show you battle mode. So you'll have to take my word that battle mode exists and is fine. We're significantly missing out on all of the cool game modes from 8 Deluxe. It's just fucking coins and balloons again. The map selection, I've seen some people compare it to Base 8. I don't agree with that. Purely on the basis of, like, Base 8 had courses like Mario Circuit, aka the Moby Strip one, Mobius, rather. That is genuinely, like, you can have someone who's on the complete opposite gravity side of the course, and there's no way to, like, make a shortcut to get to them. You have to go around the entire course. Meanwhile, they may very well either be running from you, or trying to do the same thing but in the opposite direction. So, in Mario Kart 8 Base Edition, the battle maps are genuinely, like, unfun and tedious to play on. This, once again, uses regular courses as battle maps, but, like, this area I'm in right now is one of them. It's plenty wide open enough to make turns, and it's just like this one segment that's like the big open different branch area. It's not like the whole track. There are some battle maps in there as well. Like there's the big donut from N64, okay. It's a half step, but it's there. And then like Dino Dino Jungle, which again is based on the racetrack, but actually exists outside the track's borders. That's a fine battle map to me as well, because it's a relatively enclosed space. It's actually not even that big. It's just, for me, the biggest gripe I have with it is not the courses. I think, like I said, the courses are fine. It's just a lack of game modes. Like balloon runners and coin runners, they're fine on their own, I guess. They're fine in addition to the other game modes, is how I feel about it. Oh, I think I'm gonna lose again. Alright, one more. One more. This game is missing a huge track from the other game, Merry Mountain. Hang on, I'm just figuring out how to ban someone who's watched my stream for like 8 years. Hang on. Okay. Gone. Now, Merry Mountain is fine. It's fine. Again, Merry Mountain is actually a good track. I'd even go as far as to say. My problem with Merry Mountain is purely that when it first dropped, and I'm not even like actually mad about this anymore, so like I could play it now and be totally fine. But like when it first dropped, bless their heart, but my friends Fish, Ellie, and Tony, they kept picking it over and over and over again. And again, I'm not mad about it. It's just like, that did happen. And it kind of made the course get a little stale for me. This game would have made it better. It would have. I do agree. If Merry Mountain got added into the snow area. There's also another weird thing with this game's course selection that I don't really see a lot of people talking about too much, or maybe I'm just not hearing it. But this game technically only has 30 new tracks, not 32. In every other Mario Kart after like DS and onward, the standard was 32 tracks. 16 new, 16 retro. I haven't individually counted new and retro in this, but the fact remains that this game has 2 instances of the Grand Prix reusing courses. Granted, you are doing something different on both of those visits, but you are revisiting a course, and I think it's a little lame. So, those courses in question are Crown City and Peach Stadium, I think it's called. The first time you go to Peach Stadium is insanely lame. You do one lap around the battle mode version of the map, which is just like a big square. Like, not even... It's not even like Baby Park. It's worse than that somehow. Because Baby Park, you know, you have the chaos of everyone being so cluttered together, which kind of is the point of it. In Peach Stadium, the like Flower Cup version of it, which isn't even selectable as a track on its own. That's how bad it is. In this version of the track, you go around just a big, wide open parking lot, essentially. And it's super lame. I think Peach Stadium, the actual track that appears in the Special Cup, is great. Maybe not my favorite, like, Peach-themed course, but... Ooh. Have fun with that. And I'll have fun with that. Come to accept I don't really like Peach courses. Peach Gardens, in my opinion, is okay. I think, if anything, I like Peach Gardens purely because I'm just very nostalgic for Mario Kart DS. Peach Beach, I think, is genuinely great. I don't know if I like this version or the Double Dash version more of Peach Beach. I'm conflicted. Fuck. Oh, all the way back here, huh? That sucks. That guy fell off the edge. Yeah, I know you're not crazy about Peach Garden. I think we've had that conversation before, Phillies. I remember that. Peach... Like I said, Peach Beach is okay. I'm trying to think, what the fuck other Peach courses are there? 9 times out of 10, it's just Mario Circuit in front of Peach's castle. Also, I really like that plays the Mario World, like, stomp sound. The nostalgia fucking works on me in this game, I don't know. I try to be, like, very conscious of it, like, when games are trying to, like, take advantage of my nostalgia and just purely be nostalgia trips. But it fucking works on me in this game for whatever reason. It works really hard on me in Kirby Air Riders, too. Like, actually, Air Riders is probably the most it's ever worked on me. Which is, again, kind of weird for me. And I'm sure I'll talk about this when I play Air Riders. But, like, I like the original Air Ride. But I've never been, like, the mega fan of it that some people are. Like, my friend Fish, I think, was a bigger Air Ride fan than I was. And, like, I liked it. I had it as a kid. I did grow up with the game. So there is, like, the classical nostalgia for it. It is there. Which is part of why Air Riders works so well on me. But... like, I would never, like, play Air Rider, or the original Air Ride, in the same way that I would play Mario Kart. Like, I streamed Air Ride only once, like the original. In my 8 years of streaming before Air Riders came out, I only ever streamed Kirby Air Ride, the original, one time. a game that we would turn on every now and then when I was hanging out with friends. But yeah, I wasn't like... I never played it a shit ton. Yeah, there's a competitive Discord for it. I could never get into Air Ride competitively. I also can't really get into any racing game competitively, though. That's just not my thing. I mean, I would also argue I can't get into any game competitively, but there are some games that I, like, at least try to become semi-proficient with. Never to the extent that I would compete in an actual tournament, but enough to do online and have fun with it. Like, Air Ride is not a thing that, like, the original... I know, like, Dolphin had, like, net play support for it. I think I tried it, like, maybe once or twice just to see what it was like, but I would never do it, like, just with randos to, like, test my might. I would do that with Smash Brothers, with Mario Kart, but never Air Ride. Whoa! Why these? That's not a coin coffer! It fucking got me, too. I don't like this baby Rosalina with the shell. I'm afraid of them becoming aggressive. Oh, what? You can cut across the water there? I guess you could, yeah. Actually, that looks much faster than taking the road. I'm gonna start doing that. You can do it here, too. Never really thought to do that. Oh, I just got here. Oh, no, what the fuck was that? A lightning at the same time as the blue shell? That was horse. Horse what? Horse shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm in 6th. Oh, root beer! Sad. Eight Deluxe was one of those. What, one that I would, like, take, like, super competitively? Sort of, I guess. I would argue, out of anything I can think of off the top of my head, the only games that I actually kind of, like, took seriously and would get, like, bent with losses... I guess that's more what I mean, is like when, like, if I lose something, I would, like, actually feel, like, sad or mad. The only two games I can think of that happened for me in would be Smash Brothers Ultimate, which I have a lot of hours in that, and Splatoon 2, of all things. I did not get into Splatoon 3. I wanted to, and then it just never happened for me. But Splatoon 2, I have like 200 hours. I actually... Splatoon 2, to the extent of... I actually followed, like, competitive channels and learned how to become better at the game by doing, like, deliberate research into it. And, like, learning metas. Splatoon 2 is probably the only time I ever, like, listened to the meta of anything. But anyways, that was Mario Kart World. I know... this is a very brief revisit to it, but this was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to stream it anytime again. Maybe with the next update if there's something big, or if I have some lulls in my schedule. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to shoot the shit with playing any racing game, but not that it's particularly old hat, but I don't really have any interest in playing this when I have Kirby and Sonic to also play. So, with that, it's time to move on to our next game of the night. Thank you for watching Mario Kart World.